All right, here we are. We're live. And we missed last week because I had the flu. That was the most, like, I haven't been sick in so long. But, anyways, for anyone who's new, I'm Lynn. This is Lindy.
Lindy,
Between
yep.
us, we've lost over 600 pounds and we are trying to get in shape. Uh, we're not going to do our full bios, but anyways, Lindy, your channel is Limitless Lindy. Mine is Midlife Carnivore. So if anyone doesn't know us, check us out. But we're
Yeah.
trying to get into some decent shape, hopefully without injuring ourselves. And we've been doing this challenge with this channel, Yes to Next, which I'm really liking. And then I got hit with a flu.
Ouch.
I have not been sick. This is the first time being sick since went on the carnivore diet. I had not been sick at all, and,
Oh, goodness.
even when people around me were sick, I wasn't sick, and this is the weirdest thing because I don't know anybody else around me who's sick right now, and then I got the actual full-blown flu, like fever, chills, body aches, the whole 9 yards. It wasn't a stomach flu, thank God, but it was like sinuses, you
Yeah.
know, and,
So obviously affected your movement. And did you stop eating? Like, did you lose your appetite and
yeah, oh yeah, I lost my appetite. It was
yeah.
funny because I do my weigh-ins on Mondays, and I do a video every Monday with my results, and so I actually had my weigh-in Monday, not this past Monday, but the previous one, and I was feeling pretty good. I had a bit of a scratchy throat, but I thought, well, the weather's turning, it could be allergies, and within, like, 3 hours of posting my doing my video, I had fever and chills. And in my video, I was going, "Okay, I don't understand why I gained 3 pounds." Because I was, like,
Yeah.
going, Why?" Like, I haven't done anything different, and I had all this theory. Oh, I thought, "Well, maybe I'm eating more fat than usual." And but I got sick over the first day. The rest of that day, I must have peed 20 times. And I weighed in Tuesday, and the all 3 pounds were gone. And so it was
Yes.
obviously inflammation, and then my appetite was not good, and so when I weighed in this past Monday, I was down like 8 pounds from the previous week
Wow.
from having the flu.
It's
It just
amazing. Yeah.
I don't expect that weight to stay off, you know? It's like typically when you're sick, the weight, at least some of it comes back. And so we'll see. I haven't weighed myself since Monday, but my appetite is better. But I have not, I thought that I was going to be able to do exercise this week, and it has been a struggle. I went for a walk like last weekend. I went for a walk like halfway around the block. We have like a path that cuts through midway in our block. So I can do a half block or I could do a full block. But I did a half block, and then the next day, Dave and I decided to go for a walk. We did the whole block, and I struggled like crazy. And I guess my big thing is like, how do you know when to start pushing yourself when you're recovering from being sick? Like, there's this, you can make yourself worse. You can start pushing yourself too soon. So my big thing for this week is to figure out like what do I need to do because my energy levels are still pretty low.
Yeah. Well, I think the want for you to go around the block and do the movement is a good thing. It's not like oh, I don't feel like going for a walk, I'm not going to go. It's you physically are struggling energy wise. So to me, that does sound that you're still recovering because the want is there. It's just the energy hasn't caught up with you yet.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
before I got sick, I could easily walk several miles. In fact,
Mm,
the morning of getting sick, Dave and I we got up early and we went for a long walk. It was probably 3 miles, which for
yeah.
us was a pretty decent sized walk. And that was that morning. And I did fine. And so it was like,
Yeah.
this hit me so hard and so fast. It was like It was bizarre, like, the second half of the day was nothing like the first half of the day.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
think what you're doing is right. Just, I hate when people say listen to your body, but I think you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do need to listen, and it is telling you you're not quite ready yet. And just doing a few little things, even if it's walking around the house, you'd hate to be out in the street and have a dizzy fit or something and
Right.
pass out, which
That's
is,
my fear.
yeah,
Yeah, and I did, I was afraid to do rebounding. I did a little bit, but I was afraid to do rebounding because I didn't want to I don't know how much toxins I still have in my system
yeah.
from being sick, and I know that that'll really get things like the first time I started rebounding, I was feeling horrible. I felt worse. So I was afraid to rebound for fear that it would cause me to feel worse.
You could do just
So,
really gentle rebounds, so your feet not leaving the mat, not going, like, too heavy,
yeah.
but just enough to sort of stir a little bit of the
Get things
fluid.
moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like
Hey,
you
baby
were walking.
goats. Good to see
Hi.
you. But, yeah, so I think I'm ready. I'm ready to start doing a little something. It's been, what, 12 days since I got sick, and I know it can take a couple weeks. It used to take me it could take me 4 weeks before, when I was a carnivore to get energy back from having a flu and even just having a
Yeah.
cold. So I feel like I'm better off is this so far in the progressing through it than I would have been before. But so okay, so Tuesday was my husband's birthday, and then Wednesday was my son-in-law's birthday. So Tuesday we all went and got pedicures.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
relaxing, right? I was too tired to then go out to dinner afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like that tells you that you're not quite ready to be, pushing yourself when a pedicure wears you out.
Yeah, 3-mile walk is just not an option, no.
No. No, not even. It's like, oh my gosh, it is funny. My daughter's looking at me like, "Really? You're just
Yeah.
you don't have the energy to go to another place to sit and eat."
Yeah. Well, my daughter just recently had glandular fever. She has no idea how she got it,
Oh,
hasn't come
wow.
across anybody that's been sick. It just ended up quite thick. And it took her over a month to get over that. And she went to work a couple of times and she did almost pass out because it was way too
Yes.
soon. And they sent her home because she was looking pale and just looked unwell. But she's now finally back into it and she wanted to work and she felt good like when she woke up. But once she got there and started moving around, she crashed very quickly.
Yeah,
So obviously not really ready. Yeah.
right. Hey,
Hi,
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Slow and slow pacing, absolutely. I just got to know Benjamin a little bit on Thursday with, our Keto Study Club live stream.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's got mast cell activation syndrome,
Ah,
and
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
only 30 some days on the carnivore diet, and yeah, gosh, yeah, I feel for anybody with MCAS. It's
Yeah.
rough, and I guess that's another reason why I feel pretty good because, being sick and having an infection can really flare up MCAS big time.
I was just going to ask, did you have any sort of struggles with the MCAS with the infection bit? You seem
No,
okay.
no, not like before. I always just say the jury's still out when it comes to the energy piece because it can make you completely exhausted, but it's nothing like before what put me out on disability. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't keep my eyes open. I was slurring my words. I couldn't even think to talk. My brain would freeze. And I was always also having a lot of severe like abdominal symptoms and the throat swelling and the tachycardia and like every symptom in the book, couldn't breathe, heart palpitations. So, and of course, rosacea was flared up horribly. So compared to then, I feel like I'm doing amazing. And
Yeah.
yeah, I
And I think
wouldn't
we were talking before about, we some people do have a lot of conditions, like I've got my lymphedema and lipedema. These things will probably never ever be cured, but the carnivore diet makes those symptoms so much less, like they're so much more
Exactly,
improved, so we don't struggle as much. So,
exactly. And I'm
yeah.
just, posting a link. Anyone who wants to join us, I would love to have anyone join us.
Yeah, come and, share your stories or tell us about your fitness goals if you have any.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, slow and
So
steady us.
but yeah, so I mean, mast cell disease, it definitely is a compounding factor, and I mean, anyone who has a chronic illness is definitely a compounding factor, and but it's hard with mast cell disease because your mast cells are gonna do their job when you're sick, right? They're gonna degranulate, and this is what we want them to do is to degranulate and release all those immune modulators out into your system to help coordinate your immune response. It's when they're dysfunctional and they're not responding appropriately that things go crazy. And so I'm just really glad that I feel like I did really well. I didn't have any throat swelling. I didn't have any heart palpitations, but the fatigue, I feel like I'm getting my energy back at more of a normal rate, like a normal person without MCAS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful.
So
Hi
breathe
back in
slower,
Stella.
slower, Delaware. Yes, slower and slower. Slow is the name of the game for me right now. So it has been so long since last time I was in Delaware, I was 18. Yeah. So that was what, almost like 40, almost 40 years ago. But
Okay, I'm assuming that's far away from Washington where you are?
yeah, it's on the
Yeah,
East Coast. Yeah, it's on
okay.
the East Coast and it's north of Washington, DC, kind of like Maryland, next to Maryland. Yeah, they're
You're
all,
talking to an Aussie here.
yeah,
Yeah.
Atlantic Ocean. I'm on the Pacific Ocean. I'm on the West
Yeah.
Coast. Yeah, Delaware's, and it's a small little state.
Just like, yeah, Sydney and Perth, opposite
Oh yeah,
sides of the country. Okay.
yeah, opposite. All right,
Yeah.
Alberta, awesome. Made
Oh.
a lucky escape. Oh, I was just there visiting. I had my roommate. I was away at college on the East Coast, and my roommate, not or sorry, not roommate, but a good friend that I met there was from Delaware, and she invited me home for Thanksgiving because I wasn't going to be able to fly home. I was going to be there was going to be a handful of us left on campus, and so she invited me home with her for Thanksgiving, and she lived in Delaware. And yeah, so that was my one trip to Delaware. I spent a week with her family, which was wonderful. So I have really great
Beautiful.
memories of Delaware. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how have you been doing with your fitness this past couple weeks while we've been away?
Yeah, I started off really well last week, doing my videos and it was fantastic. And then life happened again, just so many things going on. So I'm kind of out of routine. So I didn't do much of the yes to next videos because I just didn't have my like I can't see the phone without my glasses and doing, so it's a real pain. But every night I was jumping on my rebounder and also my vibration plate. So that's pretty much all I've done this week. So
Okay.
I'm consistent with those things, but just the videos I've been struggling. But I did a thing. I was naughty and I
Okay.
bought I bought myself a walking pad because as
That's
you know,
good.
I do have the treadmill and it's this big bulky thing. It's my mum's, like it's probably oh, 30 years old. Like it's huge. And I've moved it into every room of the house. It is now in the garage because I intended to set that up as a gym and that just didn't happen. It's still in the garage, but there's no windows in there. So I'm going to be walking in the dark with a fluorescent light on and it
Right.
doesn't it's not appealing. I had all these big plans, and then we had a hailstorm, and I wanted to bring my car in so it wouldn't get hailed on and
Yeah.
dinted, because I've already had a car being dinted by a hail. Um, so yeah, I'm like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to put this stupid treadmill? And so I bought a walking pad, which is very flat. It's a tiny one,
Okay.
similar to what Dr. Wiedemann uses, and it does have a handle that folds flat. So I
Okay.
can put that up, so I still have a handle. I can walk on it. I'm going to put it behind my couch so that
Okay.
when my husband comes home, he loves the company. So I sit down on the couch and I've got my iPad and I do my paint by number. Well, it's a waste of time.
I do
I
that
could
too.
it's all right for an hour, but when he just wants me to be there for company. I don't know. He's
Yeah.
like a little lost puppy sometimes. And then I feel bad because I've got so much to do. And I'm like, well, if I can just I'm going to keep it underneath the couch. Then I
Okay.
pull it out and do some walking. So I'm still in the room with him and he can still watch his TV and do his cross stitch,
Yeah.
and I can do my walking on the couch behind him. So we're still
So
together.
how tall is it?
Well, it hasn't arrived yet, but apparently it
Oh,
should fit under my couch. If
okay.
it doesn't, I can slide it in another place under my bench. But it's very lightweight apparently, and
You'll have
it
to share
holds
which
my
one you
weight.
bought. Yeah, you'll have to share which
Yeah.
one you bought. I've been thinking about buying that. I know you're ending your winter. We're going into winter.
Mhm.
And so I was doing really good with walking. In fact, the week before I got sick was probably my best week as far as getting to bed earlier, getting up right before dawn and getting my sunlight and taking a walk every day. And now my
Yeah.
schedule's all cattywampus again, you know. Well, I didn't want to expose Dave to me,
Yeah,
like, sleeping and breathing, and since he gets up at 1:45 in the morning to go to work, I figured I'm just going to stay up, and sometimes I fell asleep, like, in the family room, and then I just went to bed after he left for work because I was doing my
mhm.
best to try to minimize, breathing on him. I didn't wanna make him sick. So Benjamin
Yeah.
says, "And treadmills are amazing, I have one as well." "Oh, cool. Well, maybe I'll
Oh,
get one.
awesome.
Maybe I'll."
Yeah. Well, I just thought it's a really good way to get more steps in because, it's still winter here. We haven't had nice weather. And
Mm,
like weather is really nice for 5 minutes, and I get all excited and I think, okay, I'm going to try and get outside. And I go to the toilet, come out, and then there's clouds. I'm like, geez, I just blink and then we get crappy
right.
weather again and it's cold. Like I'm really feeling the cold.
Yeah,
So I just stay inside, and then I'd end up sitting here and I'm doing emails and I just work.
yeah,
And yeah, it's a pain. So I thought bought this sit stand desk for the purpose of doing, you know, workouts. I do my rebound, like my vibration plate under the desk. But I thought I could even bring it in here and just walk while I'm doing emails.
yeah,
So I don't know how I'll go with that, but
yeah.
yeah,
I'm
all
gonna
seems
I'm
to
gonna
be.
look into getting one.
Mm,
Benjamin said, ironically, I found that when I'm appropriately sick, I'm better with MCAS issues, almost like mast cells decide to do their job, but are too antsy to make trouble when there's nothing to address. Yeah, I'm wondering if that's the case with me too. I'm curious with Benjamin, if you have exercise intolerance, because I know that
mm.
I had horrible exercise intolerance. Exercise made me feel worse. And it was probably 5 or 6 months in before I actually could exercise without feeling worse. But now my exercise intolerance, other than right this moment, but my exercise intolerance completely resolved. And
That's wonderful.
yeah, I
Mm,
mean, that was something like, and I've been dealing with exercise intolerance since I was in my 20s. And I would try to get exercise and then it would just knock me out for days. I just would be dragging afterwards. So it's like, who wants to exercise when it makes you feel worse? It's supposed to make you feel better,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
And
you definitely can't exercise when you're in pain and feeling unwell like that. And in my position, I couldn't exercise as well. It was just too hard, very painful.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, and I could have, like, a good day where I actually felt good and felt like exercising, and then it would set me back, you know? So it's like it was so frustrating because
Yeah.
yeah. So it's just amazing that, I didn't think that that would ever resolve with MCAS. I just thought that, okay, that's gonna be something I'm gonna have to deal with forever, and I was super excited when I found out that, okay, yeah, I can actually want to exercise. That was, like, huge for me.
Yeah. So I guess what we're saying here is the important thing is to get the nourishment into your body and eat really well and just concentrate on that. Eat like it's your job. And when you start feeling better, then slowly step into it like we're doing and
Mhm.
test yourself out. If you find you still can't do it, or just keep carnivore for a bit longer. Like we all have to see it may take you 2 weeks, it could take you 6 months, it could be a year, but you
Right.
just be patient. Everybody's different and just, yeah, step into it slowly.
Yeah. And then when you have been, not exercising for so long, then you have to do like what we're doing and just really figure out the pace that you need to go at, and the intensity has to be slow.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I know even when I first started doing my little walks around the block, the first, what, like 5, 6 months in, I was a mess. I mean, I had to go so slow. I kept tweaking my knee, and I was still so dizzy too. I was walking like a drunk person, and
Yeah.
no, I could not walk a straight line, and it was bad.
Don't do a Lindy and think, "I could do this 30-minute, power fat loss workout,"
Yeah,
videos. And,
that's right.
they were just too much. It's like, "No, I'm not quite there yet." Mentally, I want to, but physically, my body's like,
Physically,
"No
yes.
way."
So
Yeah.
Benjamin says only if really too much. Okay, so if you overdo it. Bodybuilding a good chunk of my life, so I think I got used to the slog, and when this kicked up really bad past couple years, there's been a lot more time required post-exercise. Yeah, the recovery is yeah, it's I mean, and it's like when the recovery for me would be days, it's like, why bother? Like, I'm not gonna even bother. And of course, then you gain weight, you don't feel good. I mean, with me, a lot of my weight gain was looking for a source of energy, you know, and I was getting the energy from the wrong places. I was getting it from the
Yeah.
carbs and the sugar, and I get a spike of energy, and then it would drop, and then I'd go back and find some more food. And, over the years, it just put all this weight on me, you know.
Mm. So is MCAS something you've had all along, or is it something that developed later in your adulthood?
I
The
I MCAS, I started really having symptoms in my 20s, but it's hard for me to say for sure because I also have hereditary alpha tryptophanemia, which is genetic, and it's related. So
Okay.
but I do think I probably have the genetic tendency for MCAS. So I just this past week, I submitted the raw data from my ancestry DNA, test that I had done, submitted the raw data to it's called Strategene, and
Mhm.
they did an analysis of it. And I have 35 genes that are not normal, which I don't know if that's a lot. It seems like a lot.
Oh, I'm really interested in that. Like, yeah, what kind of things?
Yeah,
That
it
that'll
seems
probably do my head in.
let me see if
It's
I
like,
have the report pulled up here. I don't know if I have the report.
what's considered normal? It's like when you do your blood
Well,
tests,
normal
like,
functioning is, hang on. I'm gonna see if I can find the link to my results, and then I could just pull them up and show you. What was it? Strata?
it says that they're like a normal for a carnivore, like levels, cholesterol and all that is not normal
Well,
for
it's
someone
not
on SAD. Is
yeah,
that
it has to do with the functioning. of the
Mm.
genes. And okay, here we go. Your gene data is ready. That's not what I'm looking for. Um, okay, all right. I don't want to waste a bunch of time trying to find this. I'll probably find it as soon as we're done. I'm really bad. I should have thought ahead of time and thought like, sharing it and everything, but no, I didn't. All right. But anyways,
Oh,
I don't
yes,
know what.
sounds interesting.
Yeah,
Mm.
because they show actually, you know what? I think I emailed it. I did. Let me see. I know I emailed it to myself. So maybe I can pull it up from that. Let's see.
I need your help for a minute.
Oh, hang on. My husband's needing my help. I'm on a live stream, hon.
Is it Lindy?
Yeah.
Hey, Lindy from down
Hi,
under.
Dave. Happy birthday for
We're gonna
last
be super
Tuesday.
casual today. My husband is coming and
All
asking
right.
for help.
I
What do you need?
screwed up, but he gave me this. So he gave me a flat of this.
Okay.
I was just feeding Max, and I went, "This is two different food.
It's just two different flavors.
Is it two different flavors?"
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, this is rice and vegetable. That's
Yeah, this is original. It's fine.
I mean, this looks better.
It's fine.
Like I'd eat this stuff.
Our dog. It's fine. It's the same digestive for sensitive stomach. It's just this is the original flavor. That's a different flavor. It's fine.
You okay with that?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remind me not to
Sorry.
come to dinner when you're cooking, Dave.
This is premium dog food.
Oh
okay?
my goodness.
Premium.
So Max where is Max? He's not following Dave. So Max got colitis. Okay.
Okay.
And
Your
he
dog.
was our dog. Yeah.
Okay.
Our dog got colitis. And it was probably going on like 2 months of us trying to figure out how to get rid of his colitis. We had like 3 vet visits. And finally it's like, okay, you need to get him transitioned over onto this food. And it's working. Yeah. But I had Dave pick up a flat of the new food. And yeah. So all right. So, all right. I was trying to see if I could share this. I don't know. It's too hard. But anyways, I've got this genetic test. It's basically it shows like all the cellular processes and how each gene impacts how your body on a cellular level, like all the reactions that happen, like how you like so for example, one of my problems had to do with folic acid or folate that I don't really methylate. I don't process it properly on my own. I had some that had to do with histamine. Like I don't, my DAO enzyme is slow, so it doesn't break down histamine very well. I had a whole bunch of stuff like that. So it shows you like what gene there's a problem with and what its function is. And then it tells you like what things in the environment could cause it to express itself in a negative way, what foods could cause it to express in a negative way. And honestly, the recommendations the recommendations that I got were basically a lot of them were low carb diet. So that's good.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. Benjamin says, as you know, MCAS makes weight loss very difficult, although sometimes I would just drop crazy weight. Strategy is quite good. Yes, gives good insight. Absolutely. That's right. But always remember the epigenetics play the real role. Yes. It's whether it expresses. It's not that you have the mutation, it's whether it's expressing. Yeah. So understand a susceptibility allows you to do or don't do the epigenetic variables to help or hinder. Yes, exactly. And that's what the report showed is that you've got this particular variant, but it's the epigenetics, the expression of it that matters. So you may be prone, given the right environmental triggers or right food triggers, it'll express itself negatively.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now that you know what what your results are, apart from having like a low carb diet because you're doing the carnivore, is there anything else you're going to implement to?
I sent the report to my naturopathic doctor who ordered it. And so I'm going to have a follow-up to see what she recommends. I need to dig in. I think I'm going to get the book that goes with it, the Dirty Genes book. I have the Dirty Genes workbook. So I'm probably going to grab that and go through that. But there's actually like a book as well that goes into a lot of detail explaining the results.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be a project for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But if there's some things that I can tweak that will help my energy be better, it's just going to help me with exercise too. You know?
yeah, yeah. It's good to guinea pig yourself and learn more about your body and how it works and
Yeah.
try and optimize your health. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that I didn't prepare enough and actually have that pulled up, but I was just not really sure what if 35 variants were if that was weird. Like, is that abnormal?
Yeah. Well,
Or
your naturopath might be able to tell you that. So maybe
yeah.
once you've got your info from the naturopath, it'd be interesting just to delve into that a little bit if you're open
Mhm.
to it. Because
Oh,
you've,
yeah.
yeah, I'm very interested in it.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
long as she doesn't tell me to start eating spinach.
Well, she knows you can't have all those. But just
She does.
maybe you can just feed the cows the spinach so they can process it for you to eat.
I don't know. Well, I take a methylated or a good version of folate because my folic acid
Mhm.
levels were deficient, and I had
Yeah.
never had my folate levels tested before. So I don't have a baseline to compare it to, but except for this last time. And so the question was, okay, is there something going on that's keeping my folate levels low, or do I have a genetic issue? And it turns out that it looks like it's a genetic issue. So
Yeah,
I'm probably
I
gonna
wouldn't
have
be surprised if I'm the same because I've been
mhm,
taking thyroid since I've always had low thyroid and sorry, folic acid and thyroid. Um, the folate's always been low, and I was told a few times that I should sort of take something for it. And I never did until I started carnivore. And then I actually listened and said, okay, I better start taking it because I want to try and fix everything. So, yeah, vitamin D, folate, and then I have the thyroid tablets because I'm deficient in everything there. And
yeah.
then everything else is good.
Well, I got
Mm,
my thyroid rechecked on Wednesday. So I went and
okay.
had my blood drawn. And because so I've got two naturopathic doctors. I have the one that sees me for my MCAS, and then I have this one that I see that's more like primary care. But they kind of order stuff for each other, right? So my MCAS naturopathic doctor took me off of my thyroid medication as a trial because I'm taking the iodine supplements. I take
Hmm.
iodoral, 25 milligrams a day. And when I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, it was all just subclinical level hypothyroidism based on symptoms. Well, we didn't know back then, and no one knew about MCAS back then. And it was very likely my MCAS. And so, yeah, so I'm going to find out. This was a 3-month follow up with being off of thyroid medication. So I'm going to find out how my thyroid's doing off of it. I'm hoping, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Yeah, that I can
nice.
yeah. Yeah. So do you take iodine?
No, no, I do have some, but I forget to take it. Like every now and then I pop a squirt in my steak and I don't like to drink it. I pop it on my steak and I don't even taste it that way. But
Yeah,
yeah, I just didn't feel it really did anything. I just feel like
and it
what's
might not have
you
been
know,
enough to
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But I know Todd swears by it. He has so much iodine. He says that sees color and everything. Like it seems to be really good for him.
mhm,
But I just didn't have any of that. So I thought, well, maybe I don't need it. And I know some people say it's not accurate. We did the skin patch test. We
yeah,
actually did it on our live. Within seconds, his disappeared.
yeah,
And mine was still there the next day. It didn't soak in at all. So I'm thinking, well, maybe
yeah.
I don't know, is it accurate or not? Todd soaked in, mine didn't.
You
And
know,
so I kind of assumed
it's
that
not super, super, but it's an okay screening. It's an easy screening.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that I had to wash mine off in the shower the next day because I had this dirty brown stain on my hand,
Yeah, I mean, that's a
maybe I
good
don't need it. So
yeah,
yeah.
maybe you don't. I mean, That's interesting. So do you know if you live in an area where the soil is iodine rich, or do you live like right on the coast or
No, and not on like probably 40 minutes from the beach here.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Because I mean it depends on where
Yeah.
you live, you know.
Can you actually test for it? Like, what is the
Yeah,
test?
there's a loading test. In fact, I ordered it and I haven't done it yet, but there's an iodine loading test that can tell you whether or not you're deficient. And I keep, in fact, my husband brought it up. I ordered a kit for both of us to do. It's a 24-hour urine collection,
Mhm.
and you take 50 milligrams of iodine at the beginning, and then you collect your urine for 24 hours. You do your first void of the day, and then you collect the whole next 24 hours. But you take the 50 milligrams, and if you're okay with iodine, your body will excrete at least 90% of what you've ingested.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's not excreting it like it should, then you're deficient.
Yeah. Every now and then I just get a little bee in my bonnet. It's like I want to check all my hormones, make sure I'm getting everything and all the nutrients. And if you go to the doctor and ask for these tests, they just shrug you off. You don't need that. You don't need that. Just eat some veggies. And then I just get very disheartened. And then I was like, okay, well, fine. And then I don't want to know anything. I just eat meat and then live my
Yeah,
own life.
well,
But
that's why the naturopathic doctor is helpful because they order so many different tests that the other doctors won't order. Some of them, are
okay.
yeah, some of them are kind of expensive though,
Yeah, I
you
know my
know?
mum saw a naturopath and she was told like they did a food intolerant test and she wasn't allowed to eat all these different foods and obviously meat was one of those. So I just yeah, if I could find someone that's going to support my carnivore and all that, but
Mhm.
I just don't have faith in the doctors. They all want to put
Yeah.
me on Ozempic and they want to do all this
Oh,
crazy stuff and I'm just like
yeah.
I kind of given up.
I'm fortunate that both of the naturopathic doctors that I see are fine with my dietary choices. And
Mm,
in fact, the last time when I saw this new one, I told her I was carnivore and she didn't even flinch. She was like, "Oh, okay," didn't have a
yeah.
problem with it at all. And so I thought, okay, good. I can handle that. A lot of naturopathic doctors, I would imagine, are probably more into like eating your vegetables and, well-rounded, balanced diet, but
Yeah.
they didn't have any problem. In fact, my other one that treats my MCAS, he's the one that's a little more nervous. Like he's wanting to um test, he wants me to go get a coronary artery calcium score, test done. Okay, Benjamin said not abnormal, so I'm assuming that means that 35 variants is not abnormal. Am I
Oh,
correct?
good.
Yeah. If that's the
Mm.
case, yeah, then I'm cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we're all a little mutant. I mean, at what point, how, at what point, when does all these mutations mean that we're all normal? This is just normal for me.
Yeah, and it's probably why I don't want to know if there's something wrong. If I'm feeling great, I don't wanna know that there's something wrong, I guess. It's a
Right.
very
Like
bad mentality to have.
I haven't
Yeah.
gotten the CAC score done
Mhm.
because I'm kinda going, you know, well, what am I gonna do? Just I'm gonna eat carnivore, you know?
We also have to remember there was 50 years of bad eating, and you've only been carnivore, what, 2 years?
Not even, it's been going on 17
Yeah.
months.
So if there is a very high score, it's because of the 50 years, not the 2.
Correct.
Yeah. But they're gonna say, "No, it was the carnivore diet." Even though you've only done it for such a short amount of time,
Well,
they disregard the first 50 years of your
and that
life.
would be ignorant to say that, right? Because
But
it's like
that's what
you
they
don't
do.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you don't clog your arteries in 16 months of eating carnivore.
exactly.
In fact, very much so, it's the opposite. So many
Yeah.
people have gone the opposite direction and their scores have come down. So I don't know. I'm still on the fence. It's just another thing to pay for because it's not covered by insurance. At least I don't think so. I have to look into it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just on the fence about it because it's like, if it's high, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. and it would just be to satisfy
Exactly.
my curiosity. Nobody in my family had a heart attack. Um, yeah.
Maybe do it at the next Hack Your Health. Todd and I had put our name
Mm,
down to do it, and it was quite cheap. I think it was only $50. I don't know how much it normally is,
yeah.
but we did get a chance to do it because we got held up doing something else and
Right.
missed our appointment. But maybe for next Hack Your Health, we could,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
maybe
then
I'll
it's a
do
lot
that.
cheaper. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that, and then by then, I'll have been carnivore for over 2 years, and that would probably be good because I
Yeah.
read somewhere, I heard listened to one of the doctors somewhere saying that it takes a couple of years, to really
Yeah.
have an
So
impact.
that will give you a good baseline, and then you could do it in like a year or 2 after again, and then just make a comparison and see how you go.
Yeah, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see. But again, like if I had a family history of, people having heart attacks, I think I'd be a lot more motivated to do it.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I mean, my mom had congestive heart failure, but it doesn't have anything to do with your, arteries. Western
Mm.
Australia.
Hi.
Awesome.
Happy.
Another Aussie.
Yes, happy Sunday.
Yeah, it's Saturday here. So, okay, so Saturday, we were doing this on Friday. So, but we've been messing around with the times. So, we're talking about going for Thursday. At
Or Friday,
For
Australians,
you,
yeah.
yes, for you, it would be Friday at 12:30. For
Yeah,
me,
about this time. Mm.
yeah, for me, it would be Thursday evening, 6:30 PM Pacific time. I am in Washington State, so I'm Pacific time. So, because 'cause we're trying to not conflict with Bella, because Bella's
And
got
Healing Humanity, we
and
both work for these 2
that's
communities.
right.
And
That's
we sort of have to put our personal things on hold a little bit, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so we've got you're very active in calls with Bella, and we're both active in calls with Healing Humanity on the new membership site. And
Mm.
so yeah, so it's like trying to figure out how to juggle it. But I think that Thursday, like 6:30 PM my time is gonna work out for both of us.
Yeah,
So
so hopefully it works out for everybody here too. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm gonna pull up one thing I do wanna pull up is the Yes to Next site, which I try to do each time we talk, just in case anyone is new and doesn't know what we're doing, or at least trying to do. Let me get this pulled up, and I keep seeing her pop up on, like I subscribed to her, site, like so I get her emails.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and, so I keep seeing new videos. She's always putting new videos out. So,
Yeah, no, she's very regular with her videos, which
yeah.
is good. Yeah, but she hasn't responded to your email, has she?
No, she
Unfortunately. It's a
hasn't,
shame.
unfortunate, but, it's like she's got this massive, she's got
Yeah,
355,000
she gets
subscribers.
lots of
She's
emails.
Yeah. So her latest thing is strong back for perfect for 60 plus. So she's got her mom here, which is good because in fact, I probably am going to try this one and see if I
Yes,
can, yeah, because getting a
you
strong back
definitely need that.
is important. Okay. So she has other stuff too. Like she says, do this now before taking supplements. That's good. Um, all right, let me see if she has any other new videos that she's put out. Another one called Strong Legs. Okay, Lindy.
Yes, I already started that one. I didn't get to
Okay.
finish it, but that was quite good. Yeah.
Okay. Was it doable?
Yes, doable. Yeah, you got the chair as well, so that's definitely
Good.
doable.
Okay, and she's
Yeah.
got this one about preventing falls. This is good. All right. Lifting weights. So this is a lady that she interviewed. Lifting weights at age 95. This lady is amazing.
Oh, wow,
Yep.
okay.
I did the wall Pilates one. I've actually did quite a few of these. So,
Yeah, I did
um,
the cardio one.
yep. So maybe I need to do this one again. This gentle exercise, breathing and stretching. I did that one. That might be a good one to start out with. again, trying to get myself back into it, not wear myself
Mm,
out too much.
yeah.
But okay, cool. Well, that's what we're doing. So the goal is to just pick anything off of this channel and do it.
Yes, consistently, if we can try every day, like we
Yes,
both
trying to be
both.
consistent. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Benjamin says, I'm behind listening because it froze. Yes, iodine. I think most people are deficient unless in a good area or eating lots of foods with it. I am using perfect iodine spray. Okay. I haven't heard of that. Oh, from Upgrade Labs. Now, my understanding, now correct me if I'm wrong, Benjamin, from our live chat from Thursday, is that are you a functional medicine doctor, integrative medicine doctor? He is in healthcare, and I think he said his wife is a pharmacist.
Oh,
So
feel free to jump on and have a chat with us if you'd like.
yes. Oh, yeah. Because
Yeah.
we love, in fact, we usually have Cynthia here who works in nutrition, and we love it when there's people here who know more than we do.
Oh, no, we're all learning.
Yes, yes, and can
Yeah.
definitely help with these, make sure we've got our facts straight. We try, you know, but, yeah, I do know, I read Dr. Brownstein's book, Iodine, and it was interesting. It was an easy read. I think there's a lot of repetition in the book, but it was a pretty easy read. But yeah, I know that what he found with his patients was most people are deficient. Practically everybody that he tested was deficient. I think he said he had like 2 people that weren't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. So the variations are trade-offs. Often 1% genetics really cause problems. Remember, we evolved millions to be born now. The issues are the diet and lifestyle now. Yeah, I totally agree. Like we were not, and that's why the report from Strategene is really good, because it tells you for each thing that's a variant that's not normal, it tells you the environmental things and the foods and the different like chemicals and stuff that will cause it to express. And so you
Mm.
can know what to avoid, which is good.
So is it just a blood test for this Strategene report?
I know I took, well, whatever we did through Ancestry, it's been so many years. Was that a finger prick or was it a cheek scraping? I forget. But it was the DNA test that I did through ancestry.com. And I forget if it was a finger prick or a cheek scraping or what it was, or hair. I don't know what it was. But I just, they tell you how to download the raw data. So I downloaded the raw genetic data from ancestry.com from when I had mine done.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can do that like through 23andMe. If you've done 23andMe, you can do it that way. And so there's also, Kim told me about a free one too that I haven't done yet, but it's called Genetic Genie. And so I'm going to run it through Genetic Genie too and see if if there's differences between the report.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So ladies, let's see. Oops, missed this one. Lady says, I also do exercise from a YouTube channel called My Trainer Phil. Okay, I'm going to write that
Oh,
down. They're good for beginners and not lengthy videos. Okay, I'm going to look at that one too. So, okay, My Trainer Phil. Okay, cool. Okay. A spit in the tube. Oh yeah, you're right. That's right. It was a saliva collection for ancestry.
okay.
Yeah. It was
Interesting.
it was an easy test to do. So you haven't done any of that before?
No, never, never.
Yeah.
I've lived in a little bubble for a long time, so I don't know. I'm still trying to navigate this world. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did it just to verify. Okay, so I had a few years ago, maybe 2016, 2017, maybe 2017, I got a text from my niece saying, do you know this person? So she had gone and done Ancestry, and somebody connected with her and said, that they're family. And so she messaged me. She's like, I don't know who this person is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my first cousin who my aunt put up for adoption at birth. And
Oh, wow.
so, yeah, so he had been looking for her and his birth dad. And that's why he did Ancestry. Yeah. So I did Ancestry to just like, I want confirmation, confirm. Of course, as soon as I saw a picture, I'm like, oh my gosh, he looks just like my aunt. You know, he looks more like him than the cousin I grew up with that was her son, that was from a different
Yeah.
father. Yeah. So that's why I did it, was to just confirm. And yeah, it did come back that we're first cousins. And yeah, so that was kind
Oh,
of cool.
wow. How nice is that? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was also looking to see if I can find anybody from my, paternal grandfather, because my dad never knew his dad. And we have a picture of him, he looks just like my dad, and we know his name, but I was hoping that somebody would connect, genetically, that I could connect with that side of the family, but I don't think anybody from his line does Ancestry. Maybe a couple
Mm.
people, but anyways. But, yeah, so yeah, it would be interesting to do. I mean, if you're interested, it would be interesting to see how you are as far as your genetics, and I'm hoping that it'll give me some insight into maybe if there's still some things I'm doing wrong,
Yeah, it's
you know?
definitely interesting.
Yeah,
Mm.
for sure. So, alrighty. So, okay, so we are gonna continue on, and hopefully this coming week, I'm gonna do much better. I'm gonna get back into okay, so I'll do some rebounding, some gentle rebounding. I think I'm gonna do some exercise bands just to kind of like do my muscles, and maybe I'll do the wall exercises too, because I still feel like my legs are kind of weak. And
Yeah.
like when you're sick, sometimes your wet legs kind of feel wobbly, and I feel like my legs are still kind of weak. So I'm probably gonna do her wall exercises, like the wall sit, and maybe do that video with the leg exercises, and I'm just gonna see if I can get back into it. My goal is to get back to where I can do get my sleep back where it was, get up in the morning, do the morning walk like I was doing, and get back to where I was before I was sick.
Yeah. Yeah, well, for me, I'll continue doing my rebounding, my vibration plate, and when my treadmill walking pad comes, I'm going to be doing some of that. And she's also got the weights. Now, my daughter finally found the weights, and I've got those
Oh,
in my room. So I'm going to do the arm weights just to try and strengthen up these and see if
yeah.
it helps with my loose skin. I don't know if
And
it
I
will,
know
but
that you always talk about how your legs are weak. So,
yeah, well, the rebounding and the walking's gonna help with that, and
mhm,
then the weights for my arms, just because I can't open jars. I'm very weak there. But
yeah,
also the back ones, I definitely need to strengthen my core, so I'm thinking
yeah.
back ones as well.
I
So they're
still
my
think
focus for the
I still
videos.
think you should try to do a little bit of a wall sit. You don't have to go down very far.
Yeah, I just feel uncomfortable leaning up against the wall. I feel like I'm gonna go through it. I still yeah, it's that mental thing, like
Maybe you can
and
get
then I was thinking in the
experience.
garage, you've got brick walls, like, but you can't slide on a brick wall.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have
So,
to go down that far. I mean, even if you go down just a little bit, enough
mhm,
to feel like you need to keep your legs muscles contracted. So, I don't know,
yeah.
maybe you need to start with just, like, lay down in bed and contract your leg muscles, and
Oh, yeah, that I could do.
hold the
Yeah.
contraction just to get them used to being, there to support you.
Or a
Sometimes I
door frame, maybe the door frame would be a bit sturdier. I
Yeah,
could probably do it there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you can hold on and maybe if you, like, put your arms out and hold on to the other one, but I think to me, the wall sits are what engages the muscles of my legs so much. I feel like
Mhm.
my legs get stronger faster when I do the wall sits.
And that'll help with the glutes as well, because I need to
Mhm.
shrink there. Yeah,
I don't
that'd be
know. I'm
nice.
kinda still wanting to grow mine because I feel like mine have shrunk to the point where,
Oh, I
um
wish.
yeah, like, either that or the skin needs to shrink more.
Yeah, it's funny how our compositions are so different, you know, with different areas we need to target or want
Yeah.
to target.
Integrative medicine. I'd love to join, but I'm replying between stuff. Oh yeah. So you know what? We'll post the link every time we're here. So if you can't join this time, definitely join us next time. We'd love to talk to you, and
Yeah.
we'd love to get to know everybody, which is awesome. Picking up wife from the hospital. Yeah, she's a pharmacist at the hospital. Okay, cool.
Well,
That's
thanks for
cool.
chiming in. It was, yeah, great
Yeah, we
information.
really do appreciate it. Absolutely. So, and fairly new member of the carnivore community, and I doing it for the same reason that I did it, was to help with MCAS. And yeah, so I've tried to provide some encouragement on Thursday that hang in there, because it does help. Yeah.
Yeah. And people need to hear that, don't they? When
Yeah.
you succeed. That's why we share our stories.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And he did cheek swabs. Yeah, I've done both. I did a cheek swab for the test for hereditary alpha tryptophanemia, and the saliva test for the ancestry. Let's see. So next time I begin to jump on. Awesome. Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah. So keep an eye out for, it's going to be a different day. So we're going to be doing it Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. And for if you're in Australia, it'll be Friday, 12:30.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, very good. Well, we're going to go ahead and call it a wrap for today. Thanks for everybody who's here and supportive, even though we've been not that great, but hope to have some really good progress to share this coming week. Thanks so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Just got to be consistent. We're still on track. So
Yep. So,
every day's a win.
yep. All righty. Well, thanks, guys.
See ya.
We'll see you guys next week.